Psalm 140. When we looked at that Psalms 40 and 1, you see what he just said right here? He said, deliver me, O Yah, from the evil man, and preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart continually, are they gathered together for war. When we sit back and we look at our people, and now let's go over here to Matthew 26, and you'll see an example of this with the Lord. Because he said their mouths, he said they imagine mischiefs in their heart that continually gather to war. He will actually be preserved from the violent man. When we turn around and we look at it, that's what we sitting here asking the Lord to do for us right now.
Well, that smell good, what?
Yeah, it's nice stuff, man. She smelled the nutmeg in it immediately. The ginger, whatever it is. It's nutmeg in here too. Better for two. But you know, we sit back and look at it. That's what these brothers is out here riding about. That's what the brothers in all across the country where they protesting about. My brother in Detroit, my homeboy Trav in Detroit. That's a part of the congregation up there. His cousin just got killed by the police. You know what I'm saying? His cousin just got killed by the police. And that's what we asking the Lord to do, is to preserve us from the evil men. Because when we go to these people, it's war in their heart. They continually imagining mischief to do to us. You know what I'm saying? What type of people sit around and think about injecting people with syphilis? What type of people sit around and think about, let's make a disease to kill people, let's call it AIDS. Let's come up with a drug called crack cocaine. Who goes to another country to destroy it, to take they poppy seeds so they can come back and sell heroin at a cheap price? You know what I'm saying? And it's all to destroy one group of people. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It ain't for, you know, if white people get caught up in it, great. You know what I'm saying? If Hispanics get caught up in it, even greater. We don't care nothing about no Asian. We just want them niggas dead. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's mischief in your heart. Look at all the programs and the laws that they passed. Us three know it very well. Y'all know how much crack cocaine you got to have on your person to get 10 years minimum mandatory in the federal penitentiary? Go ahead and tell them that. How much you got? You remember? 5 grams. Do y'all know how much grams of cocaine, powder cocaine, you got to have to get 10 years minimum mandatory in the federal penitentiary? Don't know. 500 grams.
God dang.
5 grams of crack cocaine can get you 10 years minimum mandatory in a federal penitentiary. But you need 500 grams of powder cocaine to get the same amount of time. Now, why such a disparity? Because I know I ain't going to catch a nigga with no 500 grams of coke in his pocket.
And white boys don't sell crack like that.
You know what I'm saying? And white boys don't sell crack like that either. But I can show a quarter ounce of hard is nothing. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's devising the mission, because we already came up with the plan to make this stuff and dispense it in your community. And then we'll come up with law purposely to ban you for what you say. Why you think it's so many people? I don't even know the minimum mandatory for the weed. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? They went on the spree. That's how Craig ended up in prison. That's how UDC ended up in prison about them guns. They just found out, oh, we're going to hit them niggas with Fed charges. These niggas get 6-7 years in the feds. For Sutton State time, they would have got 2-3 years for. If that. You know what I'm saying? Because these niggas didn't have no, we made exception to UDC. His record was kind of bad at the time. But Craig ain't had none. And Craig did like a nickel. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to get you in all this type. It's anything we can do to get rid of you. I got too many friends got records, man. Some of them, they got their records just for being careless and reckless. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just bad timing. Some of them niggas just told on you. But either way it go, they'll set this stuff up to where your life can be effectively ruined if you don't have the drive and determination to push through it. You know what I'm saying? And they do that for a reason. Because mischief is in their heart. Because look what these people do. They tell you, I'm going to give you some time, right? You done paid your debt to society. Then when you get out, I don't want to give you no loans because you're a felon. You can't rent an apartment because you're a felon. You can't work in a lot of these places because you're a felon. So it seems like what you're trying to do is one or two things. Either push me back to going to doing what I was doing, or push me to be dependent on a woman and allow my woman as my mother and not my woman, and I'm not providing and protecting for her. So therefore that would cause her to lose respect for me. And therefore my household to be out of order. Now I can't effectively lead or raise my children because you done told my old lady, I'll give you somewhere to stay. Just don't have that nigga here. And if you do have him here, you running the show because effectively everything is in your name. He can't put nothing in his name. Not because he's doing crime, but because he's a felon. You know what I'm saying? I was telling my sister Nell that when we was moved out the townhouse and she found a lot of places. I just told a lot of them, hey man, unless they directly ask you, is somebody going to be staying with you, don't mention me. You know what I'm saying? It's not lying to omit. If they don't ask you, is anybody else going to stay here? Don't tell them. Well, why you need a 2-bedroom? Because I like the space. That's it. Because once they find out, oh, he a felon, oh, we don't rent the felons. So basically, they want you to stay on. This is stuff that they did to imagine mischief against the people. The whole time they in your face as if they love you or they care about your well-being. Like them stupid niggas go see the classification officer think them people care about you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, bro, she say she gonna do this here for me. Really? And you believed it. And you believed it. Matthew 26, man, about verse 45. Nigga crazy now. I don't believe none of that. Then come he to his disciples and saith unto them, sleep on now, take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doth betray me. And while he yet spake, lo, Judas and one of the 12 came with a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave him a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, the same is he, hold him fast. But you see how he said Judas was coming out for war, wasn't he? See, his whole purpose was, and what was the Lord praying for? Didn't he just ask, Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from my hand. Deliver me from the evil man. Preserve me. You know what I'm saying? We feel that we actually in the same situations that he went through, but not with an individual who walked with us, but just period, because we want to be delivered from evil men. See, 1 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 2. It might be 2 Thessalonians chapter 3. Let me make sure. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 1. I'm going to tell you something, man. And this is not an indictment on all white people in America. But especially those that are in power or have some matter of authority, most of them are completely disagreeable to live with. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be honest with you. Completely disagreeable. These people do not have any compassion or take account in anything that our people suffer in whatsoever. They actually don't even care. They would rather us cry and weep and mourn about something that happened in Germany than the American Holocaust that happened right over here. We ain't even got to talk about what they did to us since we've been over here. Let's just talk about what they did to us in the transport here. Ain't y'all familiar with the Middle Passage? How many of y'all in here are familiar with the Middle Passage? Lil Muffin is? So Lil Muffin the only person in here that's familiar with the Middle Passage. You familiar with the Middle Passage? Are you familiar with the Middle Passage? Every last one of y'all in here that's not familiar with the Middle Passage, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real, man, because you really need to know what they did to your people and bringing them over here. Y'all heard the stories about how the sharks used to follow the boats. They did that because that's how many bodies of your ancestors they were tossing off the side because they were slaughtering them, or they died from bacterial infections and all manner of stuff because you had, some of y'all, have y'all seen the pictures of the slave ships? How they had their bodies stacked on top of each other? Only difference in between you and them is you wasn't born at that time. You easily could have been born at that time and that could have been you. It pays for you to know that. You know what I'm talking about? It don't pay for me to tell you about it. You need to go know that. You need to know what them people did to you. They don't want you looking at this stuff so you can walk around dumb not knowing what they did to you. These people slaughtered your people and tossed them off the side, raping you while you were in the boat surrounded by dead bodies and feces. A lot of brothers jumped off them boats because they refused to go in the bondage. They would rather die than to go over here on this boat. So y'all don't know about that, do you? They jumped off the boat. So I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? See, they didn't. That's the type of spirit they don't never want in us. That's that type of spirit I refuse to serve. I refuse to do it. We just read it Wednesday. He says servants rule over us. We done put ourselves in a position where the people who are to be serving us, we serving them, and we content with it. It pays to know what these people have done to you. You know what I'm saying? That dude today, he really showed himself. He said, if you know history, Africans sold other Africans into slavery, and the first slave owners were African. I say, you know what, you might have a point there, except for the fact that I ain't African. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Jew. I say Africans or Hamites sold Jews to Caucasians. You know what I'm talking about? And they brought us over here under horrible subjection. You know what I'm talking about? Then he come back, see, you're not going to win this one here because I have a degree in history, and you're not going to beat me with your high school education. How you know I got a high school education? You just showed your character. You just sat back and showed, can't no nigga be smarter than me. Just like what I told y'all the other day, I think it was last night. That wasn't no. What that white dude said about when they said what Frank Lucas was doing? What the first thing came out of his mouth? Ain't no nigga ever did nothing better than the American Mafia. They always feel this way. A black man can never do nothing. Even in crime, even in wickedness, they say we got to be better than you.
We got to be number one.
You know what I'm saying? We got to be better than you. Look here, man. Black people created the traffic light. They were the first one to do open heart surgery. They created the air conditioner. Many things that you use in your life, your people created it, and they will not give them the credit for it. They will take it. See, that's white supremacy. When you walk around and you really don't care to even want to know about this stuff. You know what I'm talking about? This is how I used to make the police and other people be upset with me because I knew this stuff. You not finna sit here and make me think my people wasn't nothing but some niggas walking on their knuckles in no jungle. Because that's how they want y'all to think. That your ancestors wasn't nothing but some niggas walking in the jungle or slaves. You know what I'm talking about? If you actually know the history of your people. See, you can't wait around for somebody to come tell you this stuff. You should want to know it. You should have a desire to want to know these things. You know what I'm talking about? If it be about some nonsense, you niggas can tell a nigga about all that type of stuff. But you don't know nothing about your own people. See, when you actually know your history, see, you can't actually repeat it. You know what I'm talking about? Why you think we go back and look at the stuff our ancestors did so we don't go back and do it? You know what I'm talking about? And then when you actually know, you can know where you come from. You can have some level of sense of pride in yourself. So nobody can't come tell you you ain't nothing but a nigga and you believe it. Then you can know your capabilities and know what your people have accomplished through the annals of history. I ain't talking about no Africans either. I'm talking about your people. Y'all know what the Dark Ages really was. How many of y'all familiar with that? You know why they called it the Dark Ages? Do you know? You know? Yeah, I know. But they called it the Dark Ages because our people, not Africans, our people were ruling all of Europe. Europe is named after a black woman named Princess Europa. She named after a black woman. They're not going to tell you that. They don't want you to know that. You'll start taking pride in yourself. All they want you to tell you is, most any history they'll acknowledge to you is the Egyptians. They said, we don't want nothing to do with Egyptians. These niggas got hieroglyphs giving themselves head. We want nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Give me something better. And if they don't give you that, they'll give you the Moors. That's about the most they'll give you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who the Moors is? That's some people ruling in Africa. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna tell you about that there. Matter of fact, they the ones who colonized all of Europe. The Moors came through and smashed everything. That was right after the Ottoman Empire. You know what I'm talking about? See, they don't want to never tell you the Ottoman Empire was Turks. Those were basically Arabs. You know what I'm saying? They didn't never tell you about how all these people had their own universities. Not just our people, but other races of people too. They never gonna tell you about this stuff. They never gonna tell you how these people had world rule. They don't tell you none of that. All you know is about the Renaissance period when they whitewashed everything and the true genesis of white supremacy. This is what I'm sitting here telling you. That's why they don't want you to teach your sons. They want your sons to be content with white supremacy. Why you think they gave you? Caesar Borgia didn't pop up in no 100, 200, 300 AD. He popped up during the Renaissance era. Caesar Borgia was the homosexual lover of Leonardo da Vinci. He said, I love him, I'm a paint him, and I'm going to say he Jesus. Nigga got a sissy on their wall, literally. Black people walking the house, you like to say, you walk a lot of black people out, you know that dude, they're gay. That's Jesus. I don't know nothing about that. I know that nigga that faggot. And he had incestuous sex with his sister Lucretia and killed her husband. Ain't that something, a white woman named Lucretia?
I was going to say her name was Lucretia.
Yes, it really was. White woman named Lucretia. Second Thessalonians 3.
That nigga, that's gay.
You gotta hit him with that Huey off what's his name? Nigga, that's gay. That nigga gay.
Ain't that driving?
Whichever one it is. I ain't watched it in a long time. I know Riley around here talking about do the homie. That's all Caesar Boche wanted to do.
Do the whole thing.
That's just all he wanted to do. It's stuff like that, how they slide it in there, how he want to make the show seem like it's this here. At the same time, you mocking these niggas, but you repeatedly playing this song over and over and over and over and over and over again, knowing this young black boy watching this. A lot of them don't have enough sense to make the delineation that you actually mocking. All they see is an old sissy rap nigga with some pink on talking about do the homie. Now he turn around looking at his homeboy like this here. Now he got an insatiable urge to do the homie. He don't even know why. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, one time me and him, before I read this Thessalonians 3:1, one time me and him was in Dollar General. And there was a girl who was with her boyfriend in there, because I'm a wager they wasn't married. You know what I'm saying? And boys and men, I'll make love to you came over the thing in the store. I won't forget it, because I'm sat there looking at her. That woman's whole mood changed immediately. As soon as she heard the record, she was ready to get freaky right there at the checkout line. You know what I'm saying? She went to grinding up on him, getting all close up on him. I'm like, that woman mood wasn't thinking nothing about sex till she heard. She had an insatiable desire to jump this man's bones, don't even know where it came from. Say, before I was just standing here like we finna get these chips and these cleaning products. I'll make love. She like, this here nigga, you can get it right here on this stove. What? How that happen? Y'all don't be realizing that, man, song you stuff you listen to, stuff you take in, or that music can change your mood like this here. Man, I done been around niggas that be like, they want to put on certain songs before they actually get ready to go do something to another human being. You know what I'm saying? Nigga like this here, I need some liquor, I need a blunt. Nigga gotta get theyself in the mind frame to want to hurt somebody. Man, I'm telling you, that's why that boy got shot at that prom party. Them kids say them niggas put on that webbing, you a female dog, and next thing you know, cuz got a bullet in his chest.
Yeah, that's all we'll do it to you.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, I don't even know the record, but they beefing.
That's all we'll do.
You know what I'm talking about? The DJ played this record, they standing in front of each other. That's all it took. Them niggas might have not thought about killing, he might have not been thinking about killing this man. But that song got him like this here, nigga, you is a hoe, nigga. Nigga, you a hoe. Wow. Now you the hoe. But now you got a life sentence on your hand, buddy. Your life is over. And you done took this man's life. And for what? Because I guarantee the beef was petty. I guarantee the beef was petty. It's a lot of people, I'm talking about not just young, that done died behind petty beefs like that. That's why the Lord said, that's why you sit back praying. It ain't just got to be against our oppressor, but just anybody. Man, Lord, deliver me from these evil people. You know what I'm talking about? So a lot of y'all don't know this here, man. I done mentioned this to y'all before, man. I'll never forget it when Ray Marley said it, man. Stuff don't be the same once you go to doing certain things, man. Nigga be in your face like it's all love. It be war in their heart. You know what I'm saying? That's what you just read in Psalm 140. He said, they coming at me, but mischief is continually in their mind, and they got war in their heart. That's what you see with Judah. That's what you see in America. That's what these people do to us. It's war in their heart. They come to us like they care about us. You know what I'm saying? We be on their jobs. You know what I'm talking about? We be all in these places, but they got mischief in their heart. And war in their heart. Their whole objective and purpose is to take us down. You know what I'm saying? You can't be no fool. See, that's why a lot of black people fall for what these white folks do, because you don't know history, you don't know the games that they done played. They can't get me. I know I'm hip to your game, buddy. I studied you. That's where y'all mess up at. See, them white folks study us everything they do. They know exactly. Guess what? You don't see them selling Kool-Aid in white neighborhood. Wonder why it's only in your stores. You go in a white neighborhood, they ain't got corner stores like they got in your neighborhood. They don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna pull up in Mandarin unless you're in certain areas where they know niggas stay at, where they done drop them at, and they'll find an old Welcome store or a Safari store. You're not gonna find that.
A welcome store.
It is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna find that. See, y'all can't, like, cause y'all city's so small. But when you get in a bigger area, you're not gonna find. You know when you hit that white neighborhood, the stores change.
There ain't no 50-cent stores in none of these stores around here.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna be walking around here talking about getting some airheads,
No.
some lemon heads, some packs of Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying?
Malt liquor.
Straight up, ain't selling no malt liquor. Only thing they sell that niggas got in Newport.
Ain't got no malt liquor.
They ain't got, you ain't finna go out there in no white neighborhood and find you no Coke 45. No Schlitz malt liquor to bull. Because the white folks don't drink that. You know what I'm saying? They know what you drink. They know what you use. They gonna make sure, see, they use different, see, they sell different products to their people to kill them.
Yeah.
See, don't sit back and think they just giving products to us to kill us. They got products to kill them too. They just do it different. See, we know, see, white folks ain't drinking no Kool-Aid. They ain't in there talking about, Father, who drunk the Kool-Aid? They ain't doing none of that.
You have the flavored drink for me?
They're not doing that.
The sweet
You know what I'm
drink for
saying?
me?
You know, black people come there, which one of you niggas drunk all the Kool-Aid?
Yeah,
Niggas be ready to fight about that Kool-Aid. White folks don't eat honey drippers. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that. Nigga, you won't find a Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, you know what I'm talking about? Costco, you ain't gonna find that nowhere in no black neighborhood.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna find that nowhere. Closest thing you got is Sam's Club. Out there on Dunn. That's about good as you gonna get.
What?
That's about good as you gonna get. Y'all go across town right now, I'm telling you, man, it ain't even many grocery stores in this city in the hood. And this ain't no little town.
So man, cause you go across that bridge, nigga.
You go across that bridge, nigga, be like, man, I gotta go grocery shopping. Shoot, nigga, better go to Winn-Dixie downtown. They closed most of them down. Food level, I mean, most of them because they were doing bad. The only thing you gotta save a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Out there on your side, Winn-Dixie on Normandy, Save a Lot, round the corner, further down down Edgewood. That's about it. Unless you talking about Walmart.
Shoot, nigga, on Walmart on the north side, one on them turn.
Yeah, and the only Walmart on the north side on Lim Turner.
Yeah.
I mean, that's rare though. But that's on 103rd. That's not a nigga neighborhood.
Yeah, unless you're trying to go to the airport, you know, ain't nobody gonna
They ain't been They don't put them in the hood. Like you said, it's only one Walmart on the north side. That's on Lim Turner. It ain't many Walmarts on the north side, period. There are no grocery stores on the east side at all.
only two. The one at the airport and the one on them turn.
No. That's real talk now. For you to go to, for somebody out east to hit the grocery store, they got to go to the Winn-Dixie downtown. There is no grocery store out east, period. And the only thing they had close was Premium. I don't even know if Premium still.
Oh no.
That was a black-owned meat supermarket. I'm like, back in the day, that was a big old supermarket now. You know what I'm saying? It was black-owned. Gone. Gone. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the point of that. See, y'all don't go across town, so you wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? See, out west, it's a mix of people staying out there.
Star meat got the meat.
You know what I'm saying? But when you eat certain stuff, so that's why you gonna have a little bit more stuff out west than others. But I say 103rd way, well, I consider Caucasian territory even when niggas stay out there. Now when you start to get with Blandon and 118th and 115th and all that, they'll put that stuff out there. They got it's a reason for that. They don't want you niggas eating nothing good. Go to the corner store, nigga, eat some snipes. Go in there to get you a dandy burger, dandy sandwich, eat that. You know what I'm saying? 2 Thessalonians 3.
Dandy burger.
You know about them dandy burgers, boy. You know about them hustler burgers. Like you know.
They can microwave right in the stove.
Right in the stove.
Keep moving.
Keep it moving. Like I said, I got my soda, dandy burger, bags of chips, already got my blunts. If you smoke back with your blacks and poke witch, I'm gone. Huh? You eat them dandy burgers too?
No, they haven't my job.
I bet you do. You dandy burger eating nigga. Nigga like this here, I got my dandy burger. Nigga say, what kind of meat is that? Nigga say, we don't even know what type of meat we were eating for years.
Added loaf.
Nigga say, what is this, potted meat? What is this? Nigga say, this a real soybean burger. Nigga don't know what to eat. Next thing you know, you got titties. You don't even know why you got it. Nigga say, I ain't put on no weight. Nigga say, I need a bra. Nigga say, you still skinny with titties. Nigga say, you got a big old lesion on your neck. You don't know where it come from. They say, what's wrong with you? I think I got stung by a bee. Nigga say, that's some dandy burger. 2 Thessalonians 3:1. Finally, my brethren, pray for us, that the word of the Lord may have free course and be glorified, even as it is with you. And that we may be delivered from unreasonable men. For all men have not faith. That's what we got. You got to remember something. These people don't believe in God. They don't. Now, I was talking to y'all this the other day with Brother Tony. Lord allowed Tony to be here. You know Tony's presence to be here for Pentecost is for no other purpose than to provoke y'all to jealousy. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going to deal with. Deuteronomy 32 and 27. Might be 23. It came to my mind. Cause you remember that time? I don't think you were with me, Well, you might have been with me. Remember that time we was out there with them GMS niggas and that nigga told me to provoke the jealousy with your own people? That had to been, boy, I done heard some stupid stuff in my time. But that was got to be one of the things. You can't provoke, that'd be like this here. You the leader split into two by some form of mitosis. Now it's two leads. In the original lead and the new lead is trying to provoke Glover to jealousy with the old lead, but it's the same person. You know what I'm saying? How does that make any sense? That made no sense. So they telling us I can provoke my people to jealousy with my own people who got the same thing. That makes sense. Deuteronomy 32 and 20. He said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. They move me to jealousy with that which is not God. They provoke me to anger with their vanity. I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Now I want you to come back to Matthew chapter 15.
They don't put him in this stuff.
Michael, is it no?
No,
Michael, thug life. Thug life.
Michael.
Thug life.
Hey, bro.
And he pointed, thug life. That's one of them videos like we thought it hit thug life. Mike just hit the thug life on you.
Yeah, I mean, we got it purchased a couple times before.
No,
You didn't have to.
I had to. I was like how he did it. You ain't sitting there looking at it. And he pointed like, and does anybody got a problem with it? And why do you got that butt naked baby over there?
Definitely got clothes on.
A head butt naked. 15 to 21.
That's a bold one.
Yeah, I remember my homegirl baby was like that when she was born. That baby was bald headed. I said, golly, I know that got to hurt woman have an old bald headed baby. At least you hope your baby has some hair on her head. She was a bald headed baby. She couldn't even put damn tap of red in her head. There wasn't nothing gonna catch. That nigga had the Homer Simpson hair on her head.
Hey, 3 straight.
I mean, sure, the baby hair rolled in though after a while though, but I know that got to hurt. I know women be ready to do their girls' hair. No, I said the baby bald headed, man. I knew a girl. My own girl. When she had her daughter, that baby was bald headed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She ain't come out with nothing on her dome. I'm talking about she just had that one strand, really. She didn't really start growing. She didn't really start getting no hair till she was about over a year old. That's when that little girl really started. Her hair started really growing. Y'all know y'all be ready to do little girls. As soon as you know you having a little girl, you go to sit back thinking about how you gonna do their hair. They come out here bald headed like that, your dreams just be crushed.
Yes, the one.
Crushed. Like it's a bald headed nigga right here. That's what we going in your mind. That's my baby. I love little bald headed nigga. Nigga tighten up. You know what I'm saying?
So you got the Homer Simpson here.
No, Leah didn't come out bald headed. Little mother had a head full of hair. Then she had a little son.
Oh, man.
I can't remember. George wasn't bald headed either, was he? I mean, ain't nothing, you don't mean nothing against them. They come out bald headed. I mean, hey, their hair just didn't grow in the womb. You just said no, like, shoot, nigga, what you mean? My baby wasn't bald headed.
That's what I mean.
You know, big deal, they bald headed. Little boys come out the womb bald headed. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no big deal. Nigga was bald. Oh, you were bald? Bald headed babies. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga around in here rubbing your head for luck, huh? I mean, it happens though. Boy, I know that was rough. Them big old heads, no hair on them. Like this here, you put a hat on them babies now. Well, nobody picking over. I came out, I had a head. I had a big old fro.
Came out with a puffball, huh?
Yeah, I had a big old fro on my head. You know what I'm saying? Came out good, nigga. You might have could have braided that right out the womb, nigga. See that? There it is. That nigga came out the womb like this here, shining and glining. It's all right though. You say you got plenty of it now. But make sure you do something with it. How old y'all was before y'all started growing hair? No, I mean sometimes it did take time. You know, everybody different. I did was just tripping. I could see the little.
We ain't talking about on your lip. Talking about on your head.
Everywhere. Arms, legs.
Okay, you gotta go. We got that. Oh, you got throw rugs on your bike?
It's everywhere.
You got throw rugs on your bike?
Huh?
You say on your bike?
What?
Oh, I'm finna say, don't tell me you got no throw rugs now.
Not the wolf, man.
Well, hey, I'm telling you right now, boy, you better go see somebody about that now. Okay, I hear all that there, but get that stuff off your bike.
You did it. I can't get it.
Shoot, I pay somebody to get it. I ain't gonna do it. I'm telling you that right now. Bet you lying. I'm gonna be sitting here talking about let me shave your bike. Let them do it. Let them do it. I ain't shaving your bike.
They gonna purr like a horse when you shave him back.
Not Chewbacca. Let me go ahead on. I ain't messing with y'all. Y'all know y'all ain't. Y'all need to go get these some prayer in here. Lord have mercy. Need some prayer in here. Y'all pray for it, man. Y'all. That nigga say Chewbacca. This nigga crazy. 15 to 21 Book of Matthew. He said, then Yahshua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Zidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word. And the disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she cry after us. So see, they sit back looking at, send this woman away. But we know what the Lord did. The reason why I'm mentioning this too, because I just seen somebody talking about this. He called that woman a dog and all this here. But y'all know what he did for her. Let's see. But he answered and said, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. And she said, truth, Lord. Yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Then Yahshua answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee, even as thou wilt. Now, do y'all remember the key thing we just read in Deuteronomy 32? Come over here. I think it's Matthew chapter 9. Matthew chapter 9, 8, actually, in verse 1. Do y'all notice the thing that we just sat back? The Lord just said this woman's faith was great. What did the law say in Deuteronomy 32 when he said, I will provoke them to jealousy? What did he say about our people? What did he say about it? He said this was children. He said this were children who didn't have any faith. You know what I'm saying? So what he was using the Gentiles to provoke us to jealousy is their belief. The reason why I mention this to you, as much as oppressive and evil and wicked as these people have treated us in this country, you don't turn around and do the same thing. You hear me? You know what I'm talking about? You stand up and you be a man and you plead for justice and judgment and rights for your people. You know what I'm talking about? That don't mean to be no coward and back down. But you don't turn around and do the same evil and imagine mischief in your heart like they do. See, that's what had a lot of them Hebrew Israelites get a lot of brothers on the street. You know what I'm saying? They know, as a black man, you know what these people been doing to us. You know what I'm talking about? So if you come up with a teaching talking about the white man gonna die, he gonna be your slave, and we gonna do all this here and all that there, guess what? That's gonna cause people to gravitate to want to hear that because you playing on their anger. See, some of y'all that wouldn't work on none of y'all because you wasn't never angry about the condition you were in the first place. Because you wasn't even cognizant of that you were in a bad state. You know what I'm saying? Matthew chapter 8 and verse 1. After that, Romans chapter 11. We'll get to the other part of what we're doing. Matthew 8 and 1. When he came down from the mountain, a great multitudes followed him. Behold, there came a leopard and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou can make me clean. Yahshua put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Yahshua saith unto him, see thou tell no man, go thy way, show thyself to the priest, offer the gift that Moses commanded for a testimony unto them. And when Yahshua entered Capernaum, there came a centurion beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lie at home, sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Yahshua said unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou should come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go, and he go. And to another, come, and he come. And to my servant, do this, and he do it. And when Yahshua heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, truly, I say unto you, I have found no so great faith, no, not in Israel. Don't you think a statement like that from the Lord would be cause to make you jealous? That he would sit back and say that a Roman centurion had more faith than you did? Before we read Romans chapter 11, come to Deuteronomy chapter 10 by verse 14. You all right?
Stop.
Deuteronomy 10 and 14. Oh, that's numbers. And it says, behold, the heaven and heaven of heavens is Yah thy God, and the earth also, and with all that therein is. Only Yah had a delight in our fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked. For Yah your God is a God of gods, a Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regard not persons, nor take reward. You know what that means? There's no respect of persons. And the reason why I'm telling you this here is y'all need to have righteous judgment. You can't sit back and see a situation because you got a black man did something and the white man did the exact same thing. And you'll try to justify the black man instead of condemning both because they're wrong. You know what I'm talking about? Because you know a lot of black people love to do that one else. If he black, he got to be right. You know what I'm saying? I'm all right. You can take your baby with you, please. Take your baby. Get your bald-headed baby. Well, I can't say she bald-headed. She got a low face. But here you go.
You got the Amber Road.
Baby do got a little low face. I'm telling you, I don't say this is a low face. She ain't got no type of edge. No, that is a face. She blended in around the back and all. That's a blend in there.
Corey cut that.
Corey cut that.
Corey cut that.
Yeah, that's what she got too. All jokes about the baby got a temp fade.
Yeah, Corey cut.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Temp fade with a bow. What baby dog is this? Leah, go sit down. Go over there with your mama. Leah. Come up. Go over there with your mama. Your mommy leaving you. Your mommy leaving you. You jumped up then. Ain't got no shoes on or nothing. She done knocked Lizzie down and everything.
Baby down in the headlock.
Lizzie sitting there looking like, what's going on? I thought she gonna start screaming, Mommy! That's a little line, but she said she ain't dropping that dog. She said, I bet you. And that's another thing, you sit back and look at how evil these people live. You want to give a little kid a baby dog. A baby got a baby dog. You know what I'm saying? You teaching them to want to make babies. They don't even know they're a baby themselves. You know what I'm saying? Selling you Ken and Barbie's Malibu Dream House. All this type of stuff they be using to put in your head. I told you about that thing with Stewart. Put your dress down. She like, put her shoes on. You remember that thing with Stewie when he had He-Man and Lion-O fighting? That's what happened when you have your kids play with homoerotic dolls.
No, not putting them on.
You'll be shocked at the stuff that they slide in to try to put in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to be on guard. Same what I was telling you about them the video. Don't think because they children video. Boy, you get a video for that boy, you better watch it first. You better examine all of it, all the way through. I ain't talking about just look at it and be like la la la. I'm talking about really examine everything they put in there because these people put all type of stuff in them. Where they throwing subliminals. Why you wonder why your son grow up to be a whoremonger or a liar, you know what I'm saying, or a pedophile, because they be implanting these little messages in their
Yeah, hush
head.
it up.
Verse 18. He doth execute the judgment of the fatherless and the widow, and love the stranger, and giving him food and raiment. Love you therefore the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. What do you think that means when he say he loved the stranger and giving him food and raiment? Don't everybody answer at one time. What y'all think that would mean? Anybody? To a certain extent, yeah. To a certain extent, yeah, it would be he accepted. Let's look at Romans 11 and about 23. Let me see what that says. Look at this nigga here. Man, fix your face, boy. What you too young to be like that, man. Get your butt out there. He just come in there with his face balled up, just fall straight down and lay down and just put his whole butt there. Like my whole life hard. That nigga just walk around like his whole life hard.
All too good.
Let me see. Let's sit back and look at what I want here. It might be actually Romans 9 that I want, and it is. Romans 9, verse 27. I might come back to Romans 11, but Romans 9 what I want.
Eat.
Isaiah also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Lord make upon the earth. You know what he just told you about to be a short work? Because Yahshua wasn't here long, was it? Remember how we dealt with that with Elijah? 3.5 years, he did a lot of work, didn't he? You think, and y'all think y'all could get as much work done in 3.5 years as he did? Because they said this man did so much stuff, it was written down, the world couldn't contain it because of the books that had to be written. That's a lot of work to get done in a short period of time. Another day, Lord, we'll come on back to it. And Isaiah said before, except the Lord of the Sabbath had left us a seed, we had been as Sodom and been like unto Gomorrah. What shall we say then? That the Gentiles which follow not after righteousness have attained to righteousness, even the righteousness which is of faith? But Israel, which followed after the law of righteousness, have not attained to the law of righteousness. Wherefore? Because they sought it not by faith, but as it were by the works of the law, for they stumbled at the stumbling stone. As it is written, behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling stone, a rock of offense, and whosoever believe on him shall not be ashamed. What do you think that Paul was just trying to inform to us here? He said Israel tried to seek it, but didn't get it. The Gentiles sought it, and they got it. What you think Paul trying to tell us here? What it was is, well, let's look at it. Joshua, chapter 3, if I'm not mistaken. Who around here chewing on bubble gum?
This my lotion.
That's some strong stuff over there, man. What you talking about with us? Let me see what I want. Joshua chapter 4, what I want. Let me see what it is. Joshua chapter 6, actually. Joshua chapter 6, I want to say probably about verse 6. Went in the wardrobe. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of Yah. And he said unto the people, pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of Yah. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken unto the people, that the 7 priests, bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns, passed on before Yah, and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of Yah followed them. And the armed men went before the priests that blew the trumpets, and the reward came after the ark. And the priest going on, blowing with the trumpet. Hold on. Listen to what he just said. The reward came after the ark. What you think that's talking about? I can't even let that go forward. I can't even keep going before we even look at it. What y'all think that means? So, take your time, man. Come on now. But how does he say the ark came before and the reward come after the ark? Well, Yahshua is the ark of the covenant, right? So if the ark came first, right, he said the reward come after the ark, right? So let's go look at John 7:37 and let's see how the reward come after the ark. And after that, we can look at John chapter 10. And after that, we can look in a couple other places. What is the reward? Everlasting life. Listen. Listen. Let's see the ark go first. John chapter 1 coming to mind too. John 7:37. And in the last day of that great day of the feast, Yahshua stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believe on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. But this spake he of the Spirit, which they which believe on him shall receive, for the Ruach HaKodesh was not yet given, for Yahshua was not yet glorified. So before the reward could come, Yahshua had to come first, right? And then after that, the reward comes. Now when we look at Luke chapter 1, in John chapter 1, and we're not going to go read it. And about verse 29, the people saw John the Baptist seen Yahshua and said, there go the Lamb of God. And then the people went after the Ark of the Covenant, like the law say, when you see in Joshua chapter 3. Remember we went over that in time past. Do any of y'all remember that? Okay. Anybody remember that Joshua chapter 3? Okay. Don't nobody remember? Well, let's go look at it then, because y'all looking at me like you don't remember. Y'all all right? You still breathing? You alive? I ain't got nowhere near the stuff I want to get to. I'm going to get that over. Joshua chapter 3, verse 1. Bonjour. This nigga just say bonjour. And Joshua rose early in the morning. They removed from Shittim and came to Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and lodged there before they passed over. And it came to pass after 3 days that the officers went through the host. And they commanded the people, saying, when ye see the ark of the covenant of Yah your God, and the priests of the Levites bearing it, then you shall remove from your place and go after it. And yet there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Come not near unto it, that you may know the way by which you must go, for you have not passed this way heretofore. Now sit back and listen to what he's saying now. He just sat back and told them, when you see it, go after it. But there'll be a space between you and it. Don't come close to it. He said that you might know the way that you should go, right? Show you this in two different ways. Let's go back to Luke chapter 1. John chapter 1, verse 29. Probably about verse 33, actually. Oh, give me a second. John 1, about verse 31. And he said, and I knew him not. Well, 29 is better. The next day John seeth Yahshua coming unto him, saying, behold, the Lamb of God was taken away the sin of the world. So they go to reward. They came after him because he had to come first, right? That this is he whom I said, after me come a man which was before me, for he was before me. Hold on. What y'all think that's talking about? I want y'all to let that verse stew in your mind when he said, this is he whom I said, after me come a man which is preferred before me, because he was before me. I'm going to let that stew in your brain. We're going to deal with one thing at a time. And I knew him not, but that he should be made manifest to Israel. Therefore am I coming baptizing with water. And John bare record, saying, I saw the Spirit descending from heaven like a dove, and it abode upon him, and I knew him not. But he that sent me to baptize with water, the same said unto me, upon whom thou see the Spirit descending and remaining on him, the same is he which baptized with the Ruach HaKodesh. And I saw and bare record that this is the Son of God. And again the next day after John stood and two of his disciples, and looking upon Yahshua as he walked, he said, behold, the Lamb of God. And the two disciples heard him speak, and they followed Yahshua. Ain't that what he told you to do? When you seen the ark, to go after it. Now, how does this come into play when he say, when you see that ark, don't come close to it? He'll tell you which way you ought to go. What you think that would be? Let's look at John chapter 20. About verse 15. Oh, you all right? Huh? Oh, was it poop on your leg? How about that? What you want to fight? Come on with it then. Come on, Cletus. You know, we actually seen that yesterday. They said they counted how many times Pacquiao and Mayweather blinked at the weigh-in. I'm gonna ask y'all, how many times y'all think Pacquiao blinked? How many times you think he blinked, Pablo? How many times you think he blinked?
At the actual weigh-in?
At that, yeah. I mean, any of y'all, how many times y'all think, yeah, like face to face, they counted the blinks. How many times y'all on this phone? How many of y'all times y'all think Pacquiao blinked?
20 MP, probably about 20, 30 MP.
Anybody? It said Pacquiao blinked 10 times. How many times y'all think Mayweather blinked?
About 30.
What you think? You don't know? What you think, Glo? Anybody got an idea how many times?
I'm saying right back because he sound like he's not even scared of Pacquiao.
They said that nigga blinked one time.
Right.
One time.
But it sounds like he's not even scared.
And he was like, they said, why they got the blinks up there? Because I know why they got the blinks up there. Because you standing man to man, looking him in the eye. And nigga already know if I can get you to blink or drop your head, I got it. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga say Pacquiao blinking 10 times and Mayweather like this here. That made it mean one thing. Just like he said, he can't be scared of you.
He said he watching movies and stuff. He's not even watching film.
He tell you anything. Nigga tell you anything. Don't
Mayweather
believe.
was chopping wood getting ready for that boy.
But all I'm tripping on is blinks.
Huh?
We count how many times a nigga blinking. See, as women, y'all don't know stuff about stuff like that. That's real serious for a man. A man has a beef with a nigga, they standing eye to eye. A man sitting there looking at, I'm waiting on that nigga to drop his head, turn his head, or blink. Cause once I see he done did that, I got it. Nigga Mike Tyson used to be like, I had them niggas intimidated from the time I came. Can you just sit back and look at it? Boy, nigga looking you in your eyes like this here. You already done seen what this nigga can do. And you like this here. Once that nigga see that blink of that head, I got him. I done whooped him. I got him. He's scared of him.
They say Mike used to win the fight coming
What?
to the ring.
And guess what? You know the reason why I say, you know the reason why I say that? You know the reason why I say that? Because you women ain't never experienced none of that. You know what them white folks used to tell a black man not to do? Don't talk to me. Don't look me in my eyes, boy, when you speak to me. Do you know I had a CO tell me that in prison? And you know what I told him? I say last time I checked, men supposed to look men in the eye when they talk to them. So I'm going to make sure I look you dead in your eyes. You know what I'm saying? They be intimidated by that. I don't want you to look, because if you don't look me in my eyes, see, that's the thought I be telling y'all women. Y'all don't know the interactions between a man. Y'all don't know nothing about that stuff. Women don't walk up to each other and they got to make eye contact. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't look at each other and be like, oh, if this hoe don't look me in my eye, she's scared of me. Y'all don't think like that though. And you know you don't. You know what I'm saying? Man sit up like this here. Oh, this nigga ain't look. Oh, this a whole nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what they sit back looking at. It's about being submissive. Because if I can't, the white man don't want you, the police, all of it, it's been like this since we've been here. They don't want you to actually look them eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? Because when you looking at them eye to eye, they know that I'm not intimidated by you. I don't fear you. I believe that I'm on the same level as you. That meaning you a man, I'm a man. I require and demand same treatment. But if I can get you to not look at me in my eyes when I'm talking to you, then he like I have exerted dominance over him. He is submissive to my will. He would never go against me. He will never fight against me. He will never do anything to draw my ire because he fears me. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that there. See, y'all know stuff like I be trying to tell you. That's why a woman can't never sit talking about she can raise no man. You had no idea. You're not a man. You don't know the interactions. And one of the people to come up and tell your son, don't you look me in the eye, you'll probably tell him, don't. Just let it go, baby. Don't argue with him. You know what I'm saying? You'll sit there and say that if you feel like that person got an authority to do harm to your son. You shake your head because you ain't never seen nobody get their head bust.
We was taught to look everybody in the eye.
Yeah, I know it sounds real good though when you start dealing with something different. You talking about you were taught to look everybody in the eye, but y'all didn't have no sons either though. Your daddy ain't had nan son. And so y'all ain't never had no run-ins to have nobody in your family come tell you what it was like for the police to do them a particular type of way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't never seen that. And as women, your natural inclination, especially for your son, is you don't want no harm to come to him. So whatever you think you can tell him to reduce the opportunity of harm happening to him, you gonna say it. You gonna say it.
do it.
That's why most of y'all didn't think it was nothing wrong with that lady coming up there slapping her son up out there riding. She just was protecting her son. She made him a Nancy boy. Not a nigga soft for life. And now she parading him. That's just what I was talking to y'all about last Sabbath. That y'all ain't no threat. She sold her son out for a few TV shows and some money. See, if she was really about protecting her son, I ain't going on The View. I ain't going on the O'Reilly Factor. I ain't going on Sean Hannity. I ain't doing none of that. Because all they running her out there is to make y'all sit back and say, teach that nigga don't stand up against me. If she was really about her son, I decline to go on your show. I have no desire to be here.
Can't say.
He gonna be as far as it come to his oppressor. Now it's been beating. Y'all ain't sitting back looking at it. It's bigger than she just slapped him up on TV.
I ain't even see the slap.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you taking him around all these people. They know most black males have a proclivity to love their mama. You know what I'm talking about? These people bigging up your mama, and they've been done persuaded you and swayed you to believe the course of action what she took was actually for your benefit when it was actually to your detriment. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff I be talking about, because you haven't been placed in those positions to have to do that. You haven't seen it done. Like, how many times is there anybody you know that have actually, that you know have been physically accosted or beaten by the police? That you actually know personally?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, we know 2 people who were killed by the police. I know stories from men who I've seen beaten by the police or correctional officers. It's different when you done seen it. So your first instance, if you seen your son get hit upside the head with a nightstick by the police, the next time you talk to him, you gonna try to convince him of ways to deal with these people in a manner where he wouldn't seem aggressive, even if these people doing something wrong. I remember one time I was on Atlantic Beach, I seen a little white boy running from the police, man, and he was a jit. He was number like 13, 14 years old. But it took the back of his flashlight and bah! Hit him right in the back of his head when he was running. But it just fell out like this. Literally 13, 14 years old. I'm talking about could have killed him. Because he hit him right here in the back of the head. Y'all know how big the police flashlights is. Them things ain't light. You know it was something serious because Buddy fell. You know when you get knocked out because your hands do like this here. You know what I'm saying? You just like this here. When you go limp and your arm did go in the air, he was out cold. He was out cold. I tell you this stuff here for those of y'all that got sons or desiring to get married and have children one day. You gotta make sure, man, them boys trained up right and be soldiers. And I ain't talking about being soldiers walking around here stupid. I'm talking about soldiers without no direction. I'm talking about really knowing what they doing and not having no fear of these people. You can have no fear and be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do know that possible, right? You can have no fear of these people and admonish these people with respect. I'm going to show you an example of that in a minute. John chapter 20, about verse 15. Yahshua saith unto her, Woman, why weep thou? Whom seek thou? She, supposing him to be the gardener, saith unto him, Sir, if thou have borne him hence, tell me where thou hast laid him, and I will take him away. Yahshua said unto her, Mary. She turned herself and saith unto him, Rabboni, which is to say, Master. Yahshua saith unto her, Touch me not, for I am not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, and to my God and to your God. Y'all remember the play where he told them not to touch him? And when he came back from the dead, what direction did he sit down and teach them how the whole book was about him? Did he show them the way that they should go? Did he do that? Didn't he tell them, take all these commandments that I give you and take them to all nations and teach them all things that I've commanded thee? You wondering why he told them don't come near the, he just said in Joshua chapter 3, don't come near the ark, don't touch it, right? Say keep your distance from it. Well, he the ark of the covenant, don't it make sense when this woman comes? Don't come close to me now. I'm going to tell you the way y'all got to go, but I need you to go do this right here. Don't come up to me, because you know what happened if you touch the ark of the covenant, right? You died. You died. It was only a certain group of people supposed to touch that. That was the Levites. Nobody else was supposed to touch it. Why you think he told Mary don't touch it? He told Peter them to touch it. He let Peter them touch it, didn't he? He let his disciples touch it, didn't he? You know why? They Levites. They supposed to bear the ark. They can touch it. Mary can't. You step back. You come up and touch that, you're going to die now. Don't touch me now. But let me show you what I'm talking about. I think it's John chapter about 8. I mean Matthew chapter 8. Let me show you this here when old John the Baptist went on here and snapped. It might be Mark. Let me make sure. We got to go find when John the Baptist snapped. But John the Baptist was respectful. He still told Buddy behind him. Let me find it.
Let it go.
I got to remember where it's at. It's been so long since I looked at that. Somebody help me out. I get a little rusty every now and then. You know when John the Baptist went and rebuked old Herod, and they had to kill him. Y'all know what John the Baptist told old Herod? Who remember what John the Baptist told Herod? Does anybody know what John the Baptist told Herod? It's all right if you don't know. That's exactly what he said to him. That's exactly what he said to him. And what ended up happening to John the Baptist? And you know, me and Fat Boy know, because we done sat there and seen this here, where these people actually have photographs of John the Baptist's head on a charger. Y'all know what a charger is, right? I ain't talking about no car. Y'all know what a charger is? You know what it is? A charger is just one of the big old fancy plates that they used to put food on and carry during them times. That's all that is.
Pig on with the apple.
You know what I'm saying? But they had his plate, they had his head on that. I'm trying to remember what that's at. I mean that most people, you ain't never heard that term before. You know what I'm saying? So what's the first thing gonna come to your head when you hear that?
Phone charger, nigga.
Oh, phone, yeah, phone charger. Hey, phone charger's a good choice. You know what I'm saying? But it's stuff like that though. Give me a second. I'm trying to find it. There we go. Thank the Lord. Matthew 14. Thank the Lord. Matthew 14:1. I thank the Lord. Y'all all right this afternoon? Y'all ready to take them children and let them run around somewhere? I see y'all got all them young niggas polo button up all the way to the top. He said, at that time, Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Yahshua, and said unto his servants, this is John the Baptist, he is risen from the dead. And therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him. For Herod had laid hold on John and bound him and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. For John said unto him, it's not lawful for thee to have her. So you see, John just sat back. He wasn't scared of Herod. He came up and told him. He ain't come out here, look here, cracker. This, that, there, the other. You know how the nigga be acting. He ain't do none of that stuff like that. He ain't do none of that. You know how them niggas act. Act like niggas. But they say look like niggas to me. You know what I'm saying? They're coming up, hold on, cracker. See the white man. Hey, I'm telling you, after the Sabbath, if you ain't never seen it, you go ahead and pull up that nigga Mike Elf, man. That nigga a fool. That nigga say it's like the jungle sometimes. It make me wonder how I keep from going up. Them Hebrew niggas were mad. It was hilarious. But John the Baptist came and to let him know, hey, Herod, it ain't lawful for you to do that. See, you can stand up for what's right and still be respectful. You don't have to be a nick. You know what I'm saying? See, people think that you can stand up for what's right and you got to be ignorant and disrespectful. You know what I'm talking about? And retarded. You can just stand up, buddy. That ain't right now.
Go to the mom.
Look what happened to John the Baptist, though. He said when they had, and when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude because he counted him as a prophet. But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod, whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. And she, being instructed of her mother, said, give me here John the Baptist's head in a charger. And the king was sorry, nevertheless, for the oath's sake, and then we sat with him at meat, he commanded to be given her. And he sent and beheaded John in the prison. And his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother. And his disciples came and took up the body and buried it and went and told Yahshua. That's all this system ever wanted to do. You know what I'm talking about? See, a lot of times the reason why they ain't do stuff to a lot of black leaders because they just feared that the people would revolt. You know what I'm talking about? They had to make it do something. Like when they killed Malcolm, they had to send niggas to do it. You know, we looked at it a little bit last night. When you look at the Lord, who turned on him? His own kind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you look at any of the prophets that when they were betrayed, when we looked at Samson last night, who turned on him? His own kind.
Yeah.
You ever heard, some of y'all too young, y'all don't know. You know, Ice Cube had a song. It was called When Will They Shoot? And in the song, you know, he said something. He said when they shoot, no, they won't be a cracker. He said they'll use somebody much blacker. You know what I'm saying? When you look at COINTELPRO and the stuff that they did, it was easier to send a black man in there to infiltrate and cause dissension and let you do it yourself. That way, our hands are clean. See, they even did that when they get in these conflicts in South America, Central America, and the Middle East. They use somebody, these people own people, so they can have plausible deniability. We ain't had nothing to do with it. We ain't had nothing to do with it. See, y'all gotta look at stuff like that. That's how they operate. They will send somebody who looks just like you. Why you think? Put it this way. I told you about it last night and told you about it before. Pretty much 99.9% of every black leader you see work for the Central Intelligence Agency. You know what I'm saying? They work for the FBI. Just like yesterday, Pastor put something out there about Pacquiao. Had to tell him, y'all need to stop falling for the okie doke. Because somebody mentioned God or say some stuff. Don't be an idiot. These entertainers and celebrities are hypocrites. They don't serve your God. They don't stand for any form of righteousness. All these people are out there to do is deceive you and to have you looking stupid. Because guess what? If Pacquiao was any type of God-fearing man, he said, I ain't fighting this fight. I'm going to be down there with them boys out there arguing about the mistreatment of God's people. You think he going to come out here and tell you a Jew? No, he's sitting right here talking about the God in heaven and earth is going to deliver another sinner into his hand. Like he kept about two sinners boxing in a ring. You know what I'm talking about? Where did Manny Pacquiao get the word from? Who taught it to him? You ain't no Jew, so how you got it from? Where you got it from? You come from people eat rice. That's their diet, eating rice.
And Lucas.
You know what I'm saying? I'm for real. I ain't trying to be funny. Where that man came from out there, a lot of them, that's how they live. That's what they eat. It's certain stuff that they eat that we don't eat.
Yeah.
It's certain stuff we eat they don't eat.
Yeah.
Their culture is different. They love rice. I ain't talking about you ain't got to be poor. You can have money. Them people like to eat rice and they eat it numerous different ways. And I done had some Filipino and Vietnamese dishes and some of them are quite tasty. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real, I know it. I know some Asian people. That's why I'm saying to tell you, I know Asian people. You walk up to an Asian person and they from Laos and you say, are you Chinese? They gonna snap on you. Or they Vietnamese, you talking about, are you Cambodian? Oh, they gonna snap on you. They don't play them type of games. I'm not Vietnamese, I'm Cambodian. They don't play them type of games, it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? We sit back and look at it like I was mentioning to y'all. Now, like I told you, don't be no nigga because DMX had a song talking about show me a sign. Nigga drunk while he wrote it. What signs God showing?
Oh, crack, man.
Nigga smoking dope, smoking weed, talking about, give me a sign. Lord gave you a sign, stop being a nigga.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? Y'all done seen every award show. What's the first thing them celebrities want to say? I want to thank God. Kurt Warner, when he won the Super Bowl, I want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me the ability to throw this foot. So you think the Lord cared about you throwing the football more than you doing what he said for you? See, I want y'all to get out of that mind frame and stop mindlessly falling behind slaves and thinking these people upright. Because after a while, I'm going to start thinking you a sinner. That's why you think they good.
Yeah.
After a while, that's what I'm going to just go ahead and be like, okay, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You just might be ignorant. But I keep seeing more and more you niggas do that stuff. You got to be a sinner yourself. Because a sinner know a sinner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't never confused Manny Pacquiao with no saint. Certainly wouldn't confuse Floyd Mayweather with one either. Think of 50 Cent walk around here with a cross around his neck? Oh, that's a godly man right there. Don't be no niggas now. You know what I'm saying? Don't be no fool. That's the reason why people, because guess what now? These athletes, these entertainers, they not going to stand up for now one of y'all.
Yeah.
I just read that to you last night. It say Moses say he forsook all the riches of Egypt to suffer affliction with the children of God to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. You think 50 Cent gonna give all that money up? You think Jay-Z and Beyonce gonna get that up to come around here and suffer? You niggas should have learned that with Katrina when your people was down there drowning. Them niggas ain't do nothing.
Ain't but a move.
Ain't bust a move. Your people down there underwater drowning, sitting on the road for 3-4 days, man. No food, no water, no medical supplies or nothing. And the word Jay-Z gonna come up with is a song called Minority Report. I felt bad about not sending nothing. Nigga, you could have kept that garbage record to yourself.
Straight up.
Garbage.
You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I don't even remember what the lyrics about. The song already garbage because you making a song by I feel bad for not helping my people and I'm a multi-millionaire. No, you's a whole nigga. You think Baby gonna give his money up?
Oh, no.
You think Will Smith gonna give his money up?
Oh, no.
You think Jada Pinkett gonna get that stuff up?
Oh, no.
You think they gonna come down here and suffer with you? You think they gonna come back down here to get tried by the police? You think they gonna come back down here to eat ramen noodles with you? No, they ain't coming back down here to do it. Man, screw them niggas, man. Shoot, that ain't us. You know, hey, they just gotta pull themselves up by their bootstrap like we did. Don't be no fool, man. We the only race of people be that heavily invested in these celebrities think they actually care. White people know they celebrities don't care. They just want to be like them. They don't actually trust them. They just idolize. I'll show you how stupid people in this country is. They put all the celebrities out there to talk you into voting for Obama. And 95% of niggas went on that just because Aunt Ashton Kutcher say vote for Obama. Demi Moore say vote for Obama. You know what I'm saying? They random people out there. Man, that's all. Come on, man. Barack Obama was going on speeches with rappers. Why would you vote for this man? Because Ludacris said vote for him. Because Puffy with him. You making your political decisions based on Sean Combs? Come on, man. When you ever seen a right presidential candidate go get some musicians and go around and get them to get people to vote? You ain't realize the people were playing you? Oh, you talking about, boy, that nigga Obama real, he hang with Jesus. Boy, when that nigga won that election, man, them niggas was running around that dorm singing my president is black so hard like you stupid niggas, he ain't gonna do nothing. And guess what niggas screaming? He been president for 6 years and he ain't did nothing. You should have known that, you dumb nigga. They use them niggas you idolize and think are smart and great men to vote for the stinking nigga who got up there and called you a thug because you were tired, and then had the nerve after he called you the thug to say, don't act like this just started happening. What? Say somebody come and slap the cigarettes right off that nigga lips. You know what I'm talking about? That nigga lips too back. He know how I feel. That nigga been smoking more than cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, right.
Your lips don't get that black smoking cigarettes.
No, right to the throat.
You know what I'm talking about? He went past the road.
And he smoked till the smoke come out.
He went past the road. That nigga say roaches. He said, I don't smoke no weed. Where that troubleshoot at?
Oh, man.
That nigga smoke no weed.
Not on the spin.
Damn, nigga. I need that nigga come through the motorcade like this. Hold on. Stop. This how you know the difference between white people stoves and black people stoves. He come through the motorcade. Hold on, we in the hood. Stop right here. He come in here. Yeah, let me get that rose right there. I need that for Michelle. They don't sell that stuff in no white store. You ain't finna go in no white store and see that little glass stem with that little rose in it. How many of y'all done seen that before? You done seen that before? You done seen that before? You done seen it before? I know the mother done seen it before. I done showed it to her. Y'all know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Nicole, you know what I'm talking about? No. You know what I'm talking about? One of these days, I'm gonna take y'all in one of them stores and I'm gonna show you.
Go on now, little man.
I don't know. They said they ain't got the roses in it no more. What? They got a pin in it.
Yeah, they ain't got the roses.
That's all that used to be in there was a little old nylon rose. They know that thing ain't like, who gonna give that to a woman? Baby, this is for you. You know what I'm saying? Whole thing was for, they get that thing, take that rose out, because I had too many customers that do it. I'd be like, yeah, my people sell stems in the store. They go in there, cop that Brillo pad, nigga, they smoking the dope before they even pull out the parking lot. They like this here in the car, hitting the hitter like it's a cigarette. Well, y'all don't know. One thing, I'm glad I'm telling you, that they around here talking about somebody they knew, showed them how to cook some dope. I said, well, they don't know nothing about cooking dope. They don't know nothing about cooking dope. Y'all don't know nothing about no stem, y'all don't know nothing. You know what I'm talking about? You don't know nothing. You want to know enough to sit right there and watch that man teach you how to cook some dope.
Yeah, he was doing it.
You said, get what? You know you could have said? I don't want to know. It ain't hard. You wanted to know. I know you want to know. That's why you went in there and did it. And you ain't want to know. You'd have told him, I'm good on that, bro. Nigga can't never tell me you ain't want to know something, but you went and did it. You wanted to know. Yeah, always just there. That nigga can't keep it 100 for nothing. You know what that is? Here we go.
Another break season.
You know what I'm talking about? Like you ain't want to know. You know you want to know. Ain't no shame in it. Let me show you this thing here though. He said, he that came before me he was preferred before me because he was come after me was preferred before me because he said the Ark of the Covenant come and his reward with him, right? Come on, Genesis chapter 32 by verse 14. Not real though, man. I'm telling you. This stuff great. That's just the difference of what you got going on in this world, man. These people don't have that same stuff in their neighborhood. Don't see no white person around here talking about go get no roll. Them white people go smoke dope. They gotta leave the hood to get that. They gotta go out in the hood to get that. Say I can't get no rolls in Avondale. No rolls. Say get no rolls in Argyle. They say if they gonna get a rose in Mandarin, they gotta go down Sunbeam. That's the only place they gonna get a rose at in Mandarin. They got to go down Sunbeam.
One store too.
One store. It's only one hood store in Mandarin. It's on Sunbeam. You know what I'm saying? They had to throw one down there because they got them hood apartment down there. One hood store. That nigga sell it all. I bet you go in there and get your rose. You know what I'm talking about?
Man, any flavor blunt too.
Any flavor blunt. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know when you get it. That's how you know when you're in a white neighborhood. You go in there, ain't no flavor blunts.
They got
Everything standard.
Original.
Everything original. It's just Dutch Master Green. Boy, you hit the black neighborhood, nigga, we got grape, lemon lime, strawberry, orange, and we ain't only got them in Swisher Sweets, we got White Owls. They had, I'm talking about all the wraps, all flavors. You get that in a white neighborhood, you get in a white neighborhood, just let me get a box of Swishers.
you in a white neighborhood, you might get some places.
You know what I'm saying? Keep that to yourself, man. Keep that on your own time. Them niggas look like y'all walked around smoking Phillies. Like this here, rep just all man. Them was some nasty blunts, boy. Good grief. You know about the Phillies?
Nah, I smoke Dutchess.
Yeah, man. Well, we done smoked everything. Any blunt you can think of, boy, we done did it.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying? Dutchess, Optimo, Phillies. They don't talk about, that's what I'm tripping on. This is how I know old hair full of crap. The song, the video this nigga had, that nigga talking about I'm at the house blowing Optimos. Nigga, they don't even make them.
Bro, they don't even make Optimos. I seen that too. Ooh. He said, what is that?
Bad ain't the word, boy. Bad ain't the word. Let me keep moving. Let me do my job. Bad ain't the word. Genesis 32. I ain't even touched some stuff I wanted. 32 and 14, I got it wrong.
Which one, bro?
Make it 32 and 11. Genesis 32 and 11. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me and the mother with my children. And that's the same thing Yahshua was praying for, Father, deliver this cup from me. Because he already said back, no, they going to get hold of me. He said, what? Smite the shepherd, and what's going to happen to the sheep? They going to scatter. He said, sure, and thou said, I will surely do thee good and make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. And he lodged there that same night, and took of that which came to his hand a present for Esau his brother, 200 she-goats and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milch camels with their coats, 40 kine and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses and 10 foals. And he delivered them into the hand of his servant, every drove by themselves. And he said unto his servant, pass over before me, and put a space betwixt drove and drove. And he commanded the foremost, saying, when Esau my brother meet thee, and ask thee, saying, who art thou, and whither thou go, and whose are these before thee? Does this sound familiar? Who are you?
Hey, what's that dude over there? What do you want?
He all right. He just looking, probably wondering what's going on. Listen what he say now. Don't worry about it. He come, Lord, draw him in here. You want to come in? Listen what he said in verse 17. And he commanded the foremost, saying, when Esau my brother meet thee, and ask thee, saying, whose art thou? And whither go thou? And whose are these before thee? And thou shalt say that they be thy servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my lord Esau. Behold, also he is behind us. What you think this referring to? What they asked John the Baptist? Because remember, come on back to John chapter 1. No, No, not that one there. He said, if when they ask you and they come to meet you and they ask you who you are and where you come from, he said, tell them, I come with a present and what's best is actually behind me. You know what I'm saying? And he said it's actually behind me. And what did we read about the Ark of the Covenant? He said the Ark of the Covenant come and the reward is after that. John chapter 1 verse 18. 19 actually, John 1 and 19. See the word ran him off. He didn't want to hear. Guess what just happened? Lord got him.
He heard it through the door.
I'm serious though. Why y'all like this here? Lord just got it. It ain't got to necessarily be, you know what I'm talking about? He just heard something. He just heard something.
Go home, get in the car crash and die.
He's done. No, I'm saying, it ain't saying it like that, but he just giving you an example. I'll give you an example when that happened. Remember we was at the Japanese spot or whatever that is? And I was on the phone with Brandon, talking to him, and everybody who was sitting around us was ear hustling, because they were trying to hear what I was talking about. And then they haste to being nosy, they actually got to, why you think this man say this gospel got to go out in the four corners of the earth as a testimony against them, and in the end gonna come? His end can come now if he had never heard it before. His end can come now. Don't mean that it will come today, but his end can come. Who's to say this the first time he heard something? It could have been the second. Could have been the third. That's why I'm sitting there telling you, like, she's like, you be so loud. Nigga don't try to be loud like that. But when you dealing with that word and your voice carries, that be the Lord way to get somebody who halfway around the corner that he ain't gonna be able to say he didn't hear nothing. You know what I'm talking about? I told you once before, man, when I was preaching out around there in Justina, man, and dude came to me, he was like, man, you're tired. You look tired. When the next time you gonna get some good rest? It was like Wednesday. I say, Friday. He said, what? He said, man, you come to my house, sleep right now. He said, man, I've been hearing that stuff you've been preaching. I had never sat down and talked to this man before a day in my life. You know what I'm saying? That man said, I could hear you when you were in the laundromat preaching to these dudes and showing. He said, I could hear you. Never saw him before. Man told me, come in his house, say, man, you can lay down here and sleep as long as you want. When I woke up, nigga made fried chicken and macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying? But I'm for real though, amen. But it came from because he heard it. Because I never had sat down and talked with this man. You know what I'm saying? But you thinking just somebody just being loud, man, that'd be the Lord way to pull somebody in. Because guess what? He ain't got to come sit in front of you to hear it. He gonna hear it. See, y'all don't see how this man work. You gonna get it one way or another. Ain't no running. And guess what? Buddy sitting there peeping out the door, looking in the door. What them niggas in there talking about? And guess what? He heard Genesis 32. However long he was standing there, whatever he heard. Because he had to hear something before he even seen you in there, because he had to hear me. So guess what? Lord like this here. Got you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? You know what his best bet would? Just open the door and say, let me come in and sit down. See what these people talking about. Instead, you possibly just damned yourself. Because he might, man, that nigga don't know what he's talking about. Black people are crazy.
Well, God about to come with his own chill.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad at him. I say thank the Lord. I say thank the Lord. John 1 and 19. Yeah. There's one thing for certain now. You don't never know who know what and what they possess and what they got. People don't be knowing that. And too many people don't walk up on me and say, looking at you, I would have never thought you would have known that. That's what you get.
Yeah, because you will.
You know, you say what you want. But he know our line. Then what we tell him, what? I'm a Renaissance man myself. Straight up. We be ready to tell him that. Boy, we were young too. We wasn't even that verse yet, boy. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what movie that was. Once we seen that in that movie, it was on, boy. That was a nigga lying. As soon as a nigga signs a nigga intelligence. What? I'm a Renaissance man myself. What you mean? I can sit down with anybody and have a conversation. Might even turn around and do this move here to him. What?
What? Not the ankle on the knee.
Ankle on the knee.
Whoa, wait a minute. You don't wait there now.
You know what I'm saying? Now when you got to hit him, let you know you're serious. When you got to hit him, I'm a Renaissance man myself.
You got to put the hands up on him. You got to.
No, see, that's really like this here. When you hit him with this one here.
Oh, no.
Challenge me, please. Challenge me. I dare you.
That's that come on with it.
You know what I'm saying? See, we don't want to get him like that. We didn't want to know. We mean, hey, I'm a Renaissance man, but you keep your hands here, let him know now. I ain't no dummy.
Yeah.
When they go to talking like this here, oh, so you like some grandma.
You know
what I'm saying? Let you know who what. Oh, don't let the smooth tape fool you. Nigga, we ain't done around here. It's like we got on some jeans and a t-shirt. You think we stupid or something. And you know, I used to be in the street with basketball shorts and a t-shirt on, with slides on. Them people ain't expecting that.
Oh, man.
They ain't expecting that. You know I used to fool them niggas every time I come down there in Southwood, man.
Bust their head wide open.
They be like, no, boy, that nigga don't know
like
nothing.
2-3 hours, man. Hey, bro know what he talking about.
No,
When bro come around.
Like,
I don't be wanting to smoke when bro come around. I don't be wanting to smoke, man. Bro, man.
no, they be like this here, cause and they be like, oh man, they don't want to be themselves.
They don't want to disrespect, you know what I'm saying?
Cause I been coming around here, him like this here, woo, woo, woo. That last time I seen BG, I said, boy, you better sit your butt down somewhere, boy. Nigga, you been going in and out of jail for the last 10 years. You ain't tired? I'd be tired.
You say you gonna get tired.
Yeah, obviously.
All right.
That's what we said, well, no, get tired.
John 1:19. This is the record of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who art thou? And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I'm not the Messiah. When they sent it, didn't he say, hey, man, ask him who you are? Ain't that what they just said? When they say who you are, where you come from? And he said, and they asked him, what then, art thou Elias? He said, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, no. And they said unto him, who art thou, that we may give answer to them that sent us? What say thou thyself? What you think Jacob was telling him to do? To give answer to the person who Esau sent, to tell him who he was. And he said, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make straight the way of the Lord, as the prophet said, as the prophet Isaiah. And they which were sent of the Pharisees, they asked him and said unto him, why baptize thou then if thou be not the Messiah, nor Elijah, neither that prophet? John answered them, saying, I baptize with water, but there stand one among you whom ye know not. He it is who coming after me is preferred before me, whose shoe latchet I'm not worthy to unloose. And that's why verse 30 said, this is he of whom I said, after me come a man which is preferred before me, for he was before me. Now you know Esau was born before Jacob, but the blessing was already Jacob because it had already been chosen. You know what I'm saying? They were chosen from the foundation of the world. I'm going to choose Jacob over Esau. So even though Esau came before you, actually he that was greater came after. You know what I'm saying? And the reward came with him that came after. You know what I'm talking about? Because the covenant was given to Jacob, which was therefore passed down to the children, and the son comes and manifests that. So now let's look at the reward over here in let me look at Galatians chapter 6.
Yeah.
Is that thing even on? It's on, nigga.
Yes.
Just used to that thing being out. I don't know about that.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Hey man, I don't know nothing about technology, man. It's not my cup of tea. Nigga, it wasn't no such thing as a smartphone when I went to prison. Came back, niggas doing all types of stuff, and I wasn't even gone that long. I started to see how some of them niggas felt when they be gone so long, because in these days of time, boy, stuff changed fast. 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 You know what I'm talking about? Nigga wasn't talking about no flat screen TVs and all that type of stuff, man, in that 4.5 years I was gone. Nigga come back, nigga looking at you, you ain't got no flat screen, nigga looking at you like you smoke crack or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, what you been doing all your money? You ain't got no flat screen.
No flat screen. Bro, base.
Don't tell you, is this nigga alcoholic? Is he a drunk? What's wrong with him? You know black people crazy. Black people talk down on a nigga talking about, see, that nigga don't smoke no loud. Niggas try to be an elitist with marijuana. With drugs.
Oh, I don't smoke then.
That nigga say that nigga poor, nigga. That nigga don't smoke no loud, nigga. He $20 blunts. He say you smoking $20 blunts, your refrigerator butt naked. Nigga say ain't nothing there but a jug. Nigga say ain't nothing but a jug of water and a box of baking soda. You talking about you got a $20 blunt. Your kid's nose all snotty, shoes all tore up. You smoking some good weed though.
With some J's on.
With some J's on. Nigga say don't scuff my J's, nigga. Nigga, these the sixes, nigga. Nigga, I'm smoking sour diesel, nigga. That's how, you don't see white people do stuff like that. They don't do stuff like that. They don't boast by, I smoke better drugs than you. When you sit back and see how dumb niggas is, that's like crackheads arguing with each other, my base more potent than yours. That's how I would sit back and look at it. You know what I'm saying? My alcohol stronger than yours. Niggas Niggas are elitists over who drink. Oh, that nigga I only drink Ciroc, nigga. That nigga drink Belvedere. But before it was that, that's what you were drinking. Oh, that cheap nigga drink, that's Smirnoff. But when you actually go in bars across America, Smirnoff is the vodka of choice in most bars in America. But niggas will look, that's that cheap stuff. How you sit back and rank on a nigga talking about how much money he's spending to destroy his liver?
We make the least and spend the most on the worst stuff.
But the thing is though, these people have crafted it in our minds that these type of things are the things that they're status symbols. Nigga, I drink Hennessy. Nigga, that's cheap liquor too, nigga.
I'm superior to you because
I'm superior to you because I got Hennessy White. I'm superior to you, nigga, because I'm smoking Purple Haze and you smoking Reggie. I only know about Hennessy White because a nigga on my paid post.
I'm a better nigga.
That's one reason I know about it. I ain't drink liquor anyway, so I don't keep up with that type of stuff. Nigga like this here, nigga, I got Remy Martin, Louis 14. Nigga boasting about spending $2,000 on a bottle of liquor. You know you are an idiot.
Sure.
Niggas didn't even want to drink Cavassier. Busta Rhymes come out, Pastor Cavassier. Now all of a sudden niggas want to drink Cavassier. Cavassier been out for years. You niggas ain't been want to drink it. We the only people boast and brag about destroying yourself. And get mad at another nigga because he ain't spending more money, the same amount of money as you are to destroy himself. That's how these people done did it. And they talking about if you don't like it, he'll leave. You just go and get my money. Shoot, man. I already knew this here, man. Pastor was telling me that this morning. He said, man, we trying to get up out of here. I say, shoot, I'm with you. We want to get up out of here too. I don't want to stay here. He said, I want these people to give us our reparation, give us something. He said, we gonna work something. We trying to go back home. I say, Lord willing, we'll be with you. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, we'll be with you. We ain't trying to stay here neither. You know what I'm saying? What you sit back and think why I keep mentioning this stuff here, man, Lord will some of this stuff come to pass with me and you were talking about the other day. When we get this money up, man, we have enough money, man, everybody can go. You know what I'm talking about? We just gotta leave with one bags of luggage with our clothes in it, boy, that's enough. We'll take care of the rest, Lord will. When we get there, we gotta get up out of here. You know what I'm talking about? I'm tired of being here. And the people over there, y'all they know they protesting over there in Jerusalem too. Y'all do that? They protesting over there right now. Now how bad that look, our people over there protesting, we ain't doing nothing. We ain't even trying to get over there with them. You know what I'm saying? Well, we already know, because we already talked that nigga ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We just ain't got the means to go. But Lord will, we put stuff together, we get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hear me on that? No, we got to get up out of here. Got to. You know what I'm saying? Let these people have it junk. Y'all, I told that white dude that this morning. That ain't talking about, oh, well, you can leave. I say, don't worry, we leave. We going back to Jerusalem. You can have it, place. You know what I'm saying? I want to go home. This ain't my home. I'm captive. I'm going to look at that before we leave out of here, though. But hold on. Ephesians 6 by verse 7. As a matter of fact, verse 7. Y'all need to hear this anyway. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sow, that he shall also reap. For he that sowed to his flesh shall reap of the flesh reap corruption. But he that sowed to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap everlasting life. And let us not weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Every last one of y'all need to remember that. A lot of y'all sow to y'all flesh on the regular. What you think you're going to get back? You think you're going to get a reward? Because he said if you sow to the Spirit, you'll reap to the Spirit life everlasting. That's the reward. Because that's what the ark came to give. See, you notice when the Ark of the Covenant actually went before us, we were actually going to get ready to go in battle, and the reward is that our enemies were defeated. You know what I'm talking about? Well, this man went before and defeated the enemy, which is death. You know what I'm talking about? To give you the reward of everlasting life. You got to sit back and look at it. What type of reward you trying to get? You understand what I'm saying? Man, this thing bigger than just talking and certain stuff, man. Your whole mind frame got to change, and your maturity level got to rise. Ain't no sense of, how you gonna be sitting here talking about you want to go to Jerusalem and you hate this place and you don't like the stuff these people doing to you, but you still thinking and acting like the nigga. You can't be prepared to go to Jerusalem with that mind frame. The land gonna vomit you right up out of there. You believe that there? He might let you abide there for a season, and then one day, I got polio. Wow! Then fall out and die. Niggas say you don't even get nothing. Y'all sat back and seen this man ain't got no problem hitting you with a disease, boy, take you on out of here. You think you was all cool, next thing you know, you got leukemia. Next thing you know, you have a stroke. Fall out and have a heart attack. Y'all be wondering why they have some people, they say they be so healthy, they fall out and have a heart attack. Lord say, kill them. Revelation 22, verse 10. I'm just trying to tell you something for your own good. If you want to get up out of here, if you want to get up out of here, you know what I'm saying? Your mind got to be fashioned as a mind of somebody who wants to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? If you still love the world and the things of the world, if you still like our ancestors, remember he said love not the world, right? In 1 John 2 and 15. Because he said the love of the, if you got love for the world, then the love of the Father is not in you. Do you know we can actually go back to the wilderness and see that example of that? Because they loved the world. They loved Egypt. They said we had cucumber, leeks, and melon. When we was in Egypt, we had this, the pride of life. They said there was no way the love of y'all was in you coming up out of that situation. You have to sit back and look at that. The Exodus is coming. If your mind is not framed to leave your oppressor and separate yourself from them, you're going to do the same thing your ancestors did when they came out of Egypt, because you're going to have the same mind that they had. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to think the same way they thought. Man, we had KFC, man. Now, you sit back and you look at some of our people that's not in the Word. Man, we used to get pedicures. I used to play basketball. I used to be able to go to the club. No more loud. No more this. You know what I'm saying? I can't get fresh no more. See, like I said, you know, I pretty much wait. You know, I like to get fresh. I know a couple of them in here like to too. But then when you coming up out of here, man, if you ain't never been down bad where you couldn't get fresh, and then you in a situation where you can't do something that you like to do, you know what white people usually do when that happens? They kill themselves.
Sure we do.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't being funny. I'm dead serious. I'm talking. I don't mean that in every case, but a lot of times when white people who been well off, and they get in a situation where they no longer well off, but they doing bad because they never been in that situation before, and mentally they cannot handle it, and they don't know what to do, they end up taking their life.
Look at all the white people lost their house when they
Yeah, and a lot of them, when the economy crashed, the suicide rate for Caucasians went up exponentially.
Left and right, killing themselves.
Because they couldn't take it. They never been. But guess what? Most black people been poor. Always been poor. So if I get, why you notice when you see black people hit the lotto, then they went broke. You don't hear about them killing themselves. Shoot, I was supposed to start with. I balled out for. That's all you hear niggas say. Well, I balled though. That's the first thing you hear niggas say when he done went up. I was poor. I done came up on some money and went broke. First niggas say, but you lost all your money. I balled though, bro.
What the song was? Acting like a nigga ain't never had.
No, see what it was, they say it like Yuck Mouth. If I ever ball again. And they say, I know just what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And they say, if I ever ball again. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how niggas feel, shoot, nigga. And they'll sit there and tell you every story they got. If you ever been locked up, you done heard it. Shoot, bro, yeah, boy, I was doing my thing. I fell off. You know what I'm saying? But boy, I'm telling you, boy, I had the dome and the hole like this here. I was doing my thing. Nigga said, look at my pictures. Nigga live off some stuff when they were balling 10 years after it was over. They ain't even moved on yet. They just holding on. You know what I'm saying? They're holding on. They're holding on. Just like you see, shoot. Like I said, some of y'all went to high school with niggas like that. Niggas say they life went downhill. They still holding on to what they was. That's what 50 told you about it.
That's that Al Bundy.
Yeah.
Poke high.
I scored 4 touchdowns in a single game. That's my only life achievement. 50 told you, say in high school you was the man, homie. He said, what happened to you?
What happened to you?
You know what I'm saying? But when you sit back and look at it, once dudes listen the direction they life went, I got to hold on to something to make me feel good about myself. I ain't got nothing to hold on to. I ain't accomplished nothing. My mama hate me, my wife hate me. I hate this bastard woman I got these kids from. No, most of them got kids. I ain't even married to them. I can't stand them. You know what I'm saying? Like this here, man, all they had was basketball and football with all the whole sweat. But because that's the first, remember in school, boy, you like this here nigga know the nigga feeling bad. They got to try to pump him up. Tell him about what he did back in school.
I used to talk to Kim, boy, she was fine.
Yeah, see, yeah, and guess what? And guess what? When they say, remember when you used to talk to such and such, and they be like, yeah. And there'd be always somebody in the cut. Yeah, boy, that whole about 300. Just throw that in there. You know you dodged the bullet on that. But you know it's always gonna be some nigga like that there, boy. Boy, you remember you used to talk to such and such, boy, she was bad back then, that whole fat nut. It's always gonna be a nigga throw that in there, that whole fat nut. He know because he probably was a nigga threw that in there. I who got about 7 kids. She been ran through. Revelation 22 and 10. 11. 22 and 11. After that, Ecclesiastes 4 and 1. I got to touch that before we leave him. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He which is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is Kodesh, let him be Kodesh still. So guess what? If y'all want to be unrighteous and you want to be unclean, guess what the Lord said? Stay that way. You want to be set apart, you want to be righteous, stay that way. So y'all got to sit back and look at that. And I know some of y'all mind, well, what hope do I got? The hope is the man say, he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. If you want to stay like that, if you want to do that, the Lord said, do your thing, homie. You know what I'm saying? You got an option not to be filthy. You got an option not to be unjust. But if you keep showing a pattern of that, he said, well, go ahead and stay like that then. You ain't hurting me, you hurting yourself. See, we don't want to sit back and look at that. See, what a lot of y'all, you want the Lord to kiss your behind and it's okay, baby. You can get better. The Lord say, you nigga, you dirty, stay dirty, nigga. That's the same way how you people, you clean your room. You don't clean it. You the one got to live in it. Shut the door. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see it. See, some of y'all mamas ain't do that. Hardcore like this here. Shoot, that's you the one got to live in that. You want to live in that field, you live in it. Shut my door though. You know what I'm talking about? Now see, he ain't had that. His mama was going for that. That nigga could walk out the room 5 minutes having intent on making the bed. Boy, before he turned around, mom do stuff, made the bed and gone. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, you know ain't like I done seen her do it. I'm talking about he stepped right out the room. It ain't like I'm finna dip, I ain't gonna do it. Boy, Miss Marie done slid right on in there. Woo, 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 come back like, come on, mom. I was finna get back in the bed. Revelation 22 and 11.
I just went to go pee.
Don't tell me. You like this here? But then you got some. Hey, I'm for real, boy. She don't play no game. All she just sit back and look, bed ain't made. It's done. It's done. And you got mamas who like that. They don't mean nothing by it. It just got to be done. You got other. Oh, you don't want to clean your room? Shut that door. You the one got to live in that field. I ain't got to live in it. If it go to stinking though, I'm kicking the door down. I'm killing somebody. You know, some nigga, you open that room. What you got in here? That's how I was tripping when that white boy had that dead body up under his water bed. You know what I'm talking about? Like how you got a dead, how nobody in the house. Nigga, you think some Febreze was covering that up?
They talking about it was dead birds in the cage.
Ain't no dead birds smelling like that. See, y'all know nothing about that. There's a white boy. He was trying to holler at, I guess, some other little white girl. And Maddie was her name.
Maddie Clifton.
Maddie Clifton, the little sister.
Yeah,
I guess she was cop blocking.
That was crazy.
And the little boy beat her upside the head with a baseball bat or something. He killed her.
Mm-hmm.
So his objective was to cover up his crime. He stuffed her up under his water bed.
And then she moved, he went back and strangled her.
You know what I'm saying? And then went back and, you know what I'm saying, tried to help with the search. Because I was working at KFC, it was right around there by Wilson Way. You know, we had to get them people free chicken looking for their white girl. And I'm like, I want to get them people free nothing. They ought to pay for it. Because when a nigga come up missing, y'all don't do none of this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't see when little black kid come up missing, they don't put Shakrisha up there now. They don't put her up there. They have old black name, they surely ain't gonna put them up there.
They put the parent over in the suspect.
Yeah, they gonna put little Jenny up there. Jenny's missing.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
I'm talking about they put a blonde hair, blue eyed little white baby up there real fast. Old nappy head nigga baby with some brown eyes. Man, that nigga's missing. Amber alert. Y'all find him out the wild. Y'all find him out the wild. I mean, but I'm sitting back showing you, but that put in our minds, this sit back and show us. That's why you seen them people walking around talking about Black Lives Matter. Because we've been shown the whole time we've been here, our lives do not matter. It's just not with the police killing you. You know what I'm saying? In any shape, form, or fashion, our lives do not matter. A regular person, the police can kill us. They may not get the same level of sentence. When our children come up missing, it's not as important to you. You know what I'm saying? Our lives don't matter to you. So when we sit back and look at that, you know what them young brothers and sisters go to thinking? Your property don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I'm going to burn it. Therefore, I will piss in your police cruiser. And I will set it on fire. And I will crack your windows open. You know what I'm saying? But what you expect these people to happen when we read last night in Revelation 18, he said this place is a hold of every unclean spirit and every hateful and foul bird. You know what else do you expect? These people get mad at us talking about y'all do this here. Well, it's a learned behavior. If we kill people, it's only because we learned it from the best. You know what I'm talking about? These people are known killers. You just read how this Roman cut a man's head off and put it on a plate to show it to people. Who does that?
For a gift.
For a gift.
To appease somebody.
This is how they roll. This is what they do. That's why it's important for y'all to know history. When you actually know history, you can understand why people would react in the fashion that they react. You just wouldn't be like, oh, they mad because of Freddie Gray. Because you're gonna sit back and you're gonna know the treatment of your people from the time you came in contact with these people in this land. You know what I'm saying? Why you think that turned to led a slave rebellion? Because he just thought that was the thing to do. They were treating them people like beasts. They didn't want you to learn how to read. You know it's got to be something when somebody don't want you to know how to read. You got to know there's something wrong with these people when these people do not want you to learn how to read. Because if you can learn how to read, you can think for yourself. And if you can think for yourself, I no longer have sway and control over you. These people have been oppressing you on every cut and corner. That's all they know how to do. I don't think this governmental system in this land, I don't think these people who run this land know how to be just and upright. I think it's impossible. That's just my personal opinion. Anybody else in this room share that view? I don't believe I don't think it's possible. I don't care if they black or not. I don't think any person or part of the political system has the ability to be just and fair, because if they did, they quit. Or they'd have killed them by now. You know what I'm saying? That's why I go back to tell you. Lord will he expand things as he see fit. That's why I told you, I could never take no 501c3, man. Them dudes can't come out there and go out, nigga, Al Sharpton and Jamal Bryant, they can't come out there, Nathaniel 7, them can't come out there and say nothing. That's why I pray the Lord, he allow these things, what pastor want to do, he bring it to pass and we can go out there. I told you about that. That girl, a dude on, my man Trav told me that girl made that video and say, man, where's Nathaniel 7 in man? Where's ISUPK at? Where's GMS at? Y'all always talking about how you hate the white man this and this, that, there, and the other. He say, but we need you out here and you ain't out here. It go right back to what we read in Zechariah 11:5 last night. That your enemy, your possessors slay you. They hold themselves innocent. And your shepherds pity you not. The niggas don't even care if it don't serve their self-interest. You know what I'm saying? See, they can't get nothing out of coming down there in Baltimore with that stuff because you niggas riding. You won't actually come down there and preach the word to the people and sit down with them brothers and try to come up with a solution to better your people as a whole. Like I told y'all before, you know how them niggas love to talk about unifying and coming together? Every time they talk about, I'm talking about Israelite niggas, every time they talk about it, you know the first thing they always say out their mouth, which will make me not mess with them? Oh, we got to put doctrine to the side and unite. When in actuality, what you want to do is, you want all us to come together, and then you're going to try to force feed your garbage teachings on each other so we all roll with it. You ain't actually coming saying we ought to unify and do this here. You just saying we ought to come together and be Israel. And hey, if you believe something false, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? You can come together and do some work now. You know what I'm talking about? But I ain't coming together with none of you niggas. I know you niggas. And listen on to Revelation 22:11 one more time. Listen up. Tell him again, listen. Listen, so she don't like it. Then close your legs. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He which is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. He that is Kodesh, let him be Kodesh still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be. So the reward you receive is the reward you're going to earn. 2 Corinthians 5:12. We get to Ecclesiastes 4. Leah, close your legs. Your boots still in the street. Make it 10. Make it 9. We got to deal with that matter too. But Lord, we'll deal with that too. Wherefore we labor that we present or absent, we may be accepted of him. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of the Messiah. that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. We are made manifest unto God, and I trust also are made manifest in your consciences. If you know the terror of the Lord and his reward is with him and also his judgment, you would think that you would be a little bit more focused on what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? The only way we're going to get this reward is through our behavior and our mind state and our mind frame, even in the midst of great oppression. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 1. Even in the midst of great oppression. I had it in my mind to deal with all this stuff, but we didn't get the other day. We dealt with some other stuff. I got time to do a little more. We'll go as long as these people allow us. Before they tell us we got to go. Ecclesiastes 4:1. Ecclesiastes 4:1. Listen what he says. So I returned and considered all the oppression that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed. And they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comfort. Wherefore I praise the dead which were already dead more than the living which are yet alive. Yea, better is he than both they, which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. Again I considered all travail and every right work, that for this a man is envied of his neighbor. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. Now we sit back and look. You sit back and you see what this man said. He considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun and the tears of such that are oppressed. Didn't we read the other night in Luke 18 about how he bear along with us, though we cried day and night to him? Going back to what because I'm telling you, what you witnessing now is what went on in Egypt. By reason of the bondage, them people were crying out. They were in tears. You seeing your people are in tears right now. He said they have no comfort. And on the sides of their oppressors there was power. I want you to come back down. Just work with me. Psalm 73. Let's see if this is what I want. It might not be what I want. I know I want Psalms 126, so it's been in my mind to deal with that in a minute. We just went out the door. Psalms 126 and 1. All right, Kingston, calm it down. Calm it down, Kingston. Psalm 126 and 1. When Yah turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. And they said among the heathen, Yah have done great things for them. Yah have done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Yah, as the streams in the south. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that go forth and weep, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. Now I'm going to ask y'all a question. Who remember what these sheaves are that he bringing with him? He said he that go forth and weep, going to bring forth precious seed, and he's doubtless going to come again, but this time with rejoicing. Because that's what we're looking at. He said we don't have no comforter. We remember who was the comforter? That's the Spirit. And who name meant comfort? So then we sit back looking at this man say, I'm going to bring some comfort. Because right now, do our people have any comfort? Aren't we being oppressed? Are they not weeping? You don't think the brothers and sisters was out there weeping in the streets? You don't think they were weeping in the streets in Ferguson? You don't think they were weeping in the streets? They were weeping in the streets here when that white man had a mistrial. You know what I'm talking about? When he killed Jordan Davis, said, we convict you on shooting at the other boy. We got a mistrial on the murder though. People were weeping about that. Because every time something happened, the first thing a black person think is, we ain't going to get nothing. I seen my homegirl put up there yesterday. She said, no, you niggas don't get excited because they brought charges. She said they charged Zimmerman too now. That's how our people think. We don't think like other people. You know what I'm saying? When you sit back and look at that, that's straight oppression. That's straight oppression. We can see an example of that, and it's so much stuff, and we got to get ready to get out of here. But look at what the Lord said in John chapter 16. 16 and 22. Because he say, turn again our captivity, that they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. So guess what that means? Because you've been crying by reason of the oppressions and the things that you've seen. That what we read in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 will be brought to pass. You can be delivered from ungodly and unreasonable men. He said, you now therefore have sorrow, but I will see you again. And your heart shall rejoice, and your joy no man take from you. Ain't that the same thing you looking at? Now he's sitting here talking about not only the captivity of sin being turned back, but the captivity that we under. Because he said that no man would buy you from the captivity we in, but praise ye Yah for Yahshua. Because he came and paid for that purchase, right, to redeem back that product. He say, in that day you shall ask me nothing. Truly, truly, I say unto you, whatsoever you shall ask the Father in my name, he will give it to you. Do you remember who we just looked at that had the similitude of that? Anybody remember? Anybody? Anybody?
I know it. I just can't think of it.
That was Bathsheba.
Yeah.
That was Bathsheba. Bathsheba and Solomon. He said, hitherto have you asked nothing in my name. Ask and you shall receive, that your joy may be full. These things have I spoken unto you in Proverbs, but the time come when I shall no more speak unto you in Proverbs. But I shall show you plainly the Father, of the Father. At that day you shall ask in my name, and I say not unto you that I will pray the Father for you. For the Father himself loved you, because you have loved me, and have believed that I came out from God. I came forth from the Father, and have come into the world again. I leave the world and go to the Father. And look at verse 31, what the Lord say now. Yahshua answered them, do you now believe? Behold, the hour come, yea, and is now come, that ye shall be scattered, every man to his own, and shall leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. That's what we got to sit back and look at. Even in the sorrows that we may have to deal with in this place, if you got the Lord in you, you have rest. You know what I'm saying? That's the purpose of us actually like going to preach the word and want to do stuff with your people. Because if you've achieved rest, wouldn't you want others to have it? Wouldn't you think you would want all your people to have rest? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you got the Lord, you have that peace, you have that rest. A lot of brothers and sisters don't have that. That's why I tell you, be cognizant of what you do, how you carry yourself. You can be light to others to draw them to rest. You know what I'm talking about? Because he just told you, in the world, you're going to have tribulation. So guess what that means? You're going to have some trouble. Look, come back over here to John chapter 17. Look, Mike, you can't go out there by yourself. John chapter 17. Let's look at about verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. And all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I'm glorified in them. And now I'm no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee, Kodesh, Father. Keep through thy own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are. And while I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. Those that thou gave me, I have kept. None of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. Now come I to thee. These things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. When we actually have possession of the Lord in your heart, like how many of y'all were actually sorrowed to see what these people been doing to us over the course of that you've been living? You know what I'm saying? So when you sit back about that, that's why he say you sown in tears, but you're going to reap in joy. Because these people been cracking us upside our head for a long time. And we've been wondering, when is it going to stop? Will it ever stop? You know what I'm saying? And what do these people turn around and do? Where is your God at? Where's your God at? Now you tell people you Israel, if you Israelite, why your God did, why he did that. That's how they size us, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? But we got to sit back and tell them our God is in the heavens. He do forth as he please. I'm going to read a couple more things to y'all on that before we get out of here. What verse I stopped at here? Verse 13, 14. I have given them thy word, and the world have hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Now, when we sit back and look at it, with a lot of our brothers and sisters' behavior, their behavior is that of the world. You know what I'm saying? But in actuality, we are a people sanctified by Yah to be separated from the world. So therefore, we are odd to these people, and they hate us. So imagine the hate that will be magnified when we actually cease from actually being of the world. Oh, breathe, little baby. Listen like this. Listen, fix your face. Listen, you better hurry. Listen.
It's not gonna work. See how far through this. See how far.
And she making that face like I'm supposed. She like this here. My uncle ain't gonna do nothing to me.
See that one? I ain't gotta say nothing. Like that, no? I'll teach you one thing.
You ain't gonna teach me nothing. And then you wanna come over here. You know what I'm saying? But you realize these people hate us, right? Now imagine how they gonna feel about when you come to your God.
I got it like that.
Cool.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Only Lizzie does it though.
You know? Leah don't go for it though.
No, I gotta actually tell her something.
Yeah. She's a stubborn baby. That's real though, man. You sit back and think about it. What have we done to these people where we have gendered so much hate from them that they would feel the need to oppress us like this? You know what I'm saying? And to feel like they can do it with impunity. Let me read this next verse. He said, I have given them thy word, and the world have hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. I pray not that thou should take them out of the world, but thou should keep them from evil. That's the only thing we can pray, that these people don't kill us. I see somebody going out somewhere right now, the police gone. I hear them sirens. That's the only thing we can pray for. Because that's what the Lord prayed for. He said, I ain't praying for you to take them out of the world. I just pray that you keep them from evil. Because the evil day coming, these people coming after. I want you to look at, I believe it's Micah chapter 7. I know it's in Psalm 79 if I'm not mistaken, where he say the same thing. We'll look at Psalm 79. Micah chapter 7 first though. Now after we look at Micah 7, Psalm 79, we'll look at 1 Thessalonians chapter 1, and we'll get out of these people established. I just want y'all to hear this, and I want you to remember it. I've read it to you before, but I want to read it to you again. Micah chapter 7, verse 8. We're not looking at it on the spiritual, just on the natural now. So you look at it for just what it says again. Rejoice not against me, O my enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yah shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yah, because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, Where is Yah thy God? My eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down in the mire of the streets. We'll have to look at one more place before we get done. You heard what he said? These people saying, where your God at? What you mean, where my God at? You gonna see him. And when you do, he's gonna smash you in the middle of the street. Psalm 79. Verse 6. Which goes back to what's in Psalms 58 and 13. Any of y'all know what's in Psalm 58 and 13? Well, 58 and 10. I'll read you what's in Psalm 58 and 10 after I read Psalm 79. Psalm 79 and 6. Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. For they have devoured Jacob, and laid waste his dwelling place. Oh, remember not against us former iniquities, but let thy tender mercy speedily prevent us. For we are brought very low. Help us, O God of our salvation, for the glory of thy name. Deliver us and purge away our sins for thy name's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is their God? Let him be known among the heathen in our sight by the revenging of the blood of thy servants which is shed. This is what they asking for. You know in Psalm 144, David say, rid me from the hands of strange children who teach lies. Psalm 58 and 10. Now you heard what he just asked. He said, how about you, could you revenge the blood? Could you not be angry with us no more? Because that's what we looking for. We looking for vengeance. These people spilling our blood left and right.
Yeah.
58 and 10. I just want you to hear it. Make it 6. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break the great teeth of young lions, O Yah. See, that's why I told you that boy got his mouth wide up. I told you, didn't I tell you that at the time? Right in here, Lord broke his teeth. Why? Because he ran his mouth, did a lot of blasphemy. Say, you ain't got to worry about it. I'll break your mouth. He said, let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bend his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. As a snail which melt, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. I guess I have to read you that in Zechariah 14 too. You heard what he said, let them melt away. I'll read it to you. He said, before your pots can feel the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he see the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. So that a man shall say, truly there's a reward for the righteous. Truly he is a God that judge in the earth. That man said, there's a reward for us. I get to wash my feet in your blood. You know what I'm saying? See, it's stuff like that. You have to remember this type of stuff.
Please may I have your attention,
No, you may
please.
not.
The library will close in 30 minutes at 6 o'clock.
Zechariah
Those
14.
needing a ride home, please call now. All meeting rooms will close in 15 minutes at 5:45 p.m. The library will close promptly at 6 p.m.
Oh, them people don't play no game about that. 6 o'clock come, they out of here. Zechariah 14. About verse 11. Make it 10. Make it 9. And Yah shall be king over all the earth. And in that day there shall be one Yah, his name one. Remember why his name one? Who remember why this here? Why would he say to be one Yah, his name one? Remember in Deuteronomy chapter 6 it say Yah God is one. We just dealt with this not too long ago. Why would he only be one? Absolutely. Because the Father and the Son are one. Remember, he said the Father and the Son to be in the kingdom together, right? Well, let's go and look at it. Revelation 22. Got to make sure you know it. Revelation 21. 21 and 22. Give me that veggie straw. Give it to me. And I saw no temple therein, for Yah Elohim Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. That means if both of them in the house, what would that make them then? They both can't be the house. That means it would be two separate houses, or is it just one house? One. So that's how his name would be one, because it said in that day that Yah would be king over the whole earth. If Yah king over the whole earth, that means the Son done came back then. That means the Father there too then. Oh man, come on back to Zechariah 14. Verse 10, and the land shall be turned as the plain from Gibeah to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem. And it shall be lifted up and inhabited in a place from Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, from the tower of Haneel unto the king's winepress. And men shall dwell in it. and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. But this shall be the plague, where if Yah will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their hole, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. What's the only thing that could cause that to happen? Fire.